Have you ever wondered what are the red flags of a manager? Well, let's dive right into it. Recognizing red flags in managers is crucial because it directly impacts the overall work environment. It can be the difference between a productive, positive workplace and a stressful, unproductive one. One of the first red flags to look out for is a lack of communication. This could manifest as a manager often leaving you in the dark about important updates or not being clear about their expectations. Effective communication is the backbone of any successful team. When it's missing, it can lead to confusion, misunderstandings, and a lack of direction. Secondly, micromanaging. If your manager is constantly looking over your shoulder, questioning every decision you make, it's a clear sign they don't trust your abilities. This not only undermines your confidence, but also stifles creativity and innovation. Another red flag is not giving credit where it's due. If your manager regularly takes credit for your ideas or fails to acknowledge your hard work, it can seriously impact your motivation and job satisfaction. In addition to these, a manager who fails to provide constructive feedback is a concern. Constructive feedback is essential for growth and development. If your manager only ever criticizes without providing useful insights or suggestions for improvement, it's a red flag. Lastly, showing favoritism is a definite red flag. It creates an unfair working environment and can lead to resentment among team members. If your manager consistently favors certain individuals over others, it's a sign of poor leadership. Recognizing these red flags early can save you a lot of stress and frustration. Remember, a good manager should facilitate open communication, trust their team, give credit where it's due, provide constructive feedback, and treat all team members fairly. Stay tuned for our next section where we delve into the psychology behind these red flags. Now that you know the red flags, ever wondered why managers behave this way? Let's delve into the psychology behind some of these behaviors. One common cause is insecurity. Managers are human too, and like all of us, they have their own insecurities, fears, and anxieties. A manager who constantly micromanages or undermines their team might be grappling with feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure. Another reason could be lack of training or experience. Not all managers are equipped with the necessary skills to lead a team effectively. They might be excellent in their field of expertise, but managing people requires a different set of skills. This gap in skill set can lead to behaviors that are red flags, such as lack of clear communication, inability to delegate, or failure to provide constructive feedback. Pressure from higher-ups is another common cause. Managers often face immense pressure to deliver results and meet targets. This pressure can sometimes trickle down to their teams in the form of excessive workload, unreasonable deadlines, or a relentless focus on results at the expense of employee well-being. Understanding these underlying reasons is not about making excuses for poor management practices. Rather, it helps us to see the situation from a broader perspective. It enables us to empathize with our managers, to understand that they too are dealing with their own challenges. However, empathy doesn't mean acceptance. Recognizing these red flags and understanding their root causes is the first step towards addressing these issues. It's about opening a dialogue, fostering a culture of feedback, and working together to create a healthier, more productive work environment. So the next time you spot a red flag, try to understand the why behind it. Is it rooted in insecurity? Is it due to lack of training or experience? Or is it a result of pressure from above? Understanding the why behind these red flags can be the first step in addressing the situation. So, you've spotted these red flags in your manager. What next? It's a tricky situation to navigate, but don't worry, you're not alone. Many of us have been there before, and there are proven strategies you can use to deal with this. The first thing you need to remember is that your well-being should always be a priority. Your career should be a source of fulfillment and growth, not constant stress and discomfort. Start by opening a line of communication. If you feel comfortable doing so, consider having a candid conversation with your manager about your concerns. This can be daunting, but it's often the most direct way to address the issue. Frame your concerns in a constructive manner, focusing on specific behaviors rather than attacking their character. For instance, instead of saying, "You're always micromanaging me," you could say, "I feel I could be more productive if I had a bit more autonomy in my work." However, it's important to gauge the situation before attempting this. If your manager is not open to feedback, or if you fear retaliation, this approach may not be the best. In these cases, it may be more appropriate to seek advice from your human resources department. They're there to help you navigate situations like this and can provide guidance on the best course of action. Standing your ground is another key strategy. If you're being subjected to unreasonable demands or unfair treatment, it's okay to say no. This doesn't mean being confrontational, but rather asserting your rights in a respectful manner. Remember, it's not just about doing your job, it's also about maintaining your dignity and self-respect. In some cases, you might find that despite your best efforts, the situation doesn't improve. This is a hard reality to face, but it's crucial to know when to walk away. If your work environment is toxic and there's no sign of change, it might be time to consider a job change. This is not a failure on your part, but rather a brave decision to prioritize your mental health and career growth. Lastly, don't forget to take care of yourself. Dealing with a difficult manager can be stressful, so it's important to engage in self-care activities that help you relax and recharge. This could be anything from practicing yoga, reading a book, or simply spending time with loved ones. In conclusion, dealing with a manager who shows red flags can be challenging, but you have the power to navigate this. Open communication, standing your ground, seeking help from HR, and considering a job change when necessary are all viable strategies that can help you manage this situation. Above all, remember that your well-being should always be a priority. Remember, it's your career. Don't let a bad manager derail your progress. We've covered some heavy stuff today, haven't we? Now that we've delved into the murky waters of identifying managerial red flags, understanding the psychology behind them, and learning how to navigate these challenging situations, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned. First, we explored the different warning signs that could signify a problematic manager, from a lack of transparency to consistent favoritism, and from a refusal to accept responsibility to an overemphasis on control. These red flags can often indicate an unhealthy work environment. It's crucial to be aware of these signs, to protect ourselves and to maintain productivity and job satisfaction. We then ventured into the realm of psychology to understand why some managers might exhibit these behaviors. We discovered that these traits can stem from a variety of factors, including insecurity, lack of proper training, or even personal issues. While this doesn't excuse their behavior, it helps us to empathize, understand, and strategize our responses more effectively. Lastly, we delved into the action plan, what you can do when you notice these red flags in your manager. We discussed the importance of open communication, seeking advice, setting boundaries, and when necessary, escalating the issue to HR or considering alternative job opportunities. It's important to remember that you have options and resources available to support you. Remember, knowledge is power. The more aware we are of these red flags, the better equipped we are to navigate our professional lives successfully and healthily. And that wraps up our episode on mastering calm in the face of managerial red flags. This is a journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to get more content like this. Thanks for watching.